having another video on the control panel. I guess this has somehow become a series. So just want to show you guys what we're going to be working on today. It's going to be the dash clock. Show you guys how to test it, how to pretty much refurbish it. These are some of the lens parts that go all together. I did have to spray paint this one again, matte black, and the reason being because it was pretty dull. It was looking gray. It had some paint missing in some areas. It was chipped, so I went ahead and resprayed this one here. It's been sitting for a couple days already, so it's ready to handle and put back on. So you guys remember this one here from the other video. This here got chromed. It's back from the chrome shop. It's nice, looking fresh. We got that done. The gasket or the seal that goes around the lens right here, went ahead and just pretty much wiped it down and cleaned it up with some Armor All. Kind of give it a fresh look again and get rid of any rust pitting or anything that might be on there. So we got that done. And the lens right here, I want to be real careful with this. The lens right here, I went ahead and polished it up with some of that with that blue the blue wax. That color blue, it's meant for plastic and like side markers, tail lights, anything that has to do with plastic. So I just went ahead and just gave it a quick buff with the wheel, knock off any scratches that might have been there from the past, and it's looking nice and clear and clean. So yeah, so let's get right into the whole inspecting, assembling, and testing. So there's a little shaft right here, and this little shaft is an adjuster. So if your clock is moving too fast or too slow, you could adjust it here. You just get a little flathead screwdriver and you could tighten the tension or loosen up the tension, and pretty much this shaft right is what determines your clock. So you could adjust it and you know, get it down to that minute. So I did have to adjust this one. It wasn't right. It was spinning a little too fast, but it did tighten up the tension right here and got the minute. So yeah, let's go ahead and test it out. Okay, so this shaft right here that's sticking out, that's your power right here, and you could hook up the negative to like any, well, not anywhere, you could hook it up to here, to the housing. So you want to make sure you hook up your power to this and make sure that negative's not touching anything else. You want to hook it up to the housing. And here we go, and this is your negative, and it's starting to spin. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my stopwatch and just show you guys that yes, you can adjust these clocks to get you that minute. So I'll come back and set it to 12 o'clock. Alright, so it's almost at the 12 o'clock mark, and we're gonna go ahead and hook this one up and get the stopwatch. So once it hits 12 o'clock, I'll start my stopwatch. And there you go. So I stopped the watch right at a minute, and as soon as I stopped the watch at a minute, it hit right on 12. I mean, you guys could go back and watch the video. So I mean, it took me a while to get it down just right, but you can adjust it. It's very tedious, but it is possible. So there you go. Alright, so before I move on and start assembling, I wanted to share this with you guys. So I did notice that the big hand and the little hand here on the clock was dull as far as the color goes. It was already, as you can see, it's already like kind of like yellowish, and it was kind of bothering me. It wasn't that nice bright orange as it was, so I started experimenting. So I came up on my wife's nail polish. I figured, hey, that looks pretty darn close. But as you can see, it's not close enough. It's not that neon orange or that bright orange. So I went ahead and went to the Hobby Lobby, and I bought these two colors because I wasn't sure which one was gonna match. Now this one was too dull. This is I don't know, some kind of orange. It says orange on there, but obviously it's not matching. I bought this one here. This is like neon orange, and I wasn't too happy with this one either. It was too bright. I laid it down on a separate piece of paper, and it just wasn't matching up to what it's supposed to look like. So I ended up putting all these to the side and started doing some more research, and it turns out that they actually do sell the proper orange color for your gauges, and this is from High Pro Parts, and it's called fluorescent speedometer and gauge needle restoration paint. So I didn't even know this stuff was out there. So these were $2, $2, 5-finger discount for my wife's shelf came up on this one. So this was about I'm gonna say with shipping all, it came out to be like $10, and this thing is tiny compared to these right here, and you really don't need much just for the needles. But yeah, it was pretty expensive, but hey, you know what, this is the actual color. So if you guys are looking to restore your gauge needles and your RX2s, 3s, or R100s, this is what you want to go with right here. You guys know these cars at night when they light up, the light's very poor as it is already, and with some worn out needles, you know, it's just, you know, it's not gonna pop. So yeah, this is gonna pop. So let's get right to it. All right, so check it out. So this thing, it's the paint's not really that thick. It's almost like water, so you got to do it in coats. So I did about I wasn't expecting that, but I did do one coat on both, then let it dry. I did another coat, let it dry. I think I did about 4 coats. So yeah, just look out for that. It's not really thick like paint, it's just like really like watery, but look at that, man. It looks great. That's what I was looking for, and I wasn't too happy with you know, the nail polish and these other colors. So yeah, just go ahead and check them out, and but yeah, you won't be disappointed. It's some great stuff. So next step is just gonna be yeah, assembling, putting it all back together. All right, here we go. All right, so before you want to start assembling this, there's a gear right here, and this little knob goes in there, and there's like a little tiny pinhole right here, and you want to make sure that you align up that hole to this gear right here before, because this kind of does move around when you're handling it. So try to be careful not to lose this little piece that goes right here. So yeah, just make sure these holes line up before you put it back in housing. So here's the housing, and it's pretty straightforward. Obviously this little gear here has to show through this little window. So you got these 3 pegs right here, and they're gonna go on these 3 pegs right here. So just go ahead and drop it in there, and you kind of want to make sure that as you're putting it in, this falls in that seal in there. Let's just go ahead and just tighten this down. All right, so we're almost done here. So the first thing you want to do, you want to get this ring here, and this ring does have a cutout. I don't know if you guys could see it right here, but this little cutout needs to line up to this hole here, and once you line it up to this hole, it will just kind of like lock itself into place. so there's no way you could get it wrong. It only goes one way, and it'll kind of guide you to it. So next, you want to get your gasket here, and it does have a flat side, and it does have a like a beveled side. So right before you jump onto this, you want to put your plastic glass on here, and this can only go one way. So if it doesn't go on this way, you know you got it wrong. So if you flip it the other way, it won't go on there right. So it does have, you just can't get it wrong once you do it this way. See, it's locked on there, but I don't know if you could see that the holes are not lining up, so that obviously means that you got to flip it the other way. And you want to make sure it's nice and clean before you install it, because once you install it, that's it. You're gonna have to take it apart if you end up with some fingerprints on there or something. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean it up one more time just to make sure it's clean, and just drop it on here. So there we go. Now that it's dropped on there, it's pretty much locked in place. Now you can get your rubber seal, and you could just use these old prints as a reference. So this is gonna go here like this, and then just get your ring and just lock it in place. So you want to make sure that first it grooves, that these little pegs here go into grooves. So we got one here, and we got one there, so it's gotta go like this. All right, so now it's on there nice and firm. It's not moving, it's not loose, so it ain't going nowhere. So now comes the hard part, trying to line up this little hole right here to the gear that's right here. So all right, there it goes. Did struggle a little bit for it, but it's working properly. Now I can set it at the proper time and just get it going. So all right, so check it out. There it goes. It's ticking and talking. It's giving me the right time, as far as giving me a true 1 minute, giving me true minutes. And to be quite honest with you guys, it was actually fun putting this thing back together, knowing that it was working this whole time. It was just a little dirty inside, and it needed some oiling. So again, this is 50 years plus clock. I mean, it was built 50 years ago, so definitely needed some oiling inside and some little cleaning, and it's working perfect. I definitely recommend this paint for your needle restoration. High pro parts. You could just get it online. I'll go ahead and put it on the description below, so if you guys are interested in it. It is $10, but hey, you know what? It's $10 well worth it. This little thing, and this is gonna definitely last for a couple projects, or 2, 3, 4 projects. So yeah, I didn't need much, but definitely worth it. Yeah, I hope you guys definitely enjoyed this video. Can't wait to put this back on the panel and other gauges. And if you guys haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, and like the video, and hit that bell for some notifications. And just wanted to say thanks for watching, guys. All right, till next time. You got it.